Good evening. Welcome to the May 7th, 2013 meeting of the Yukon City Council. At this time, if you would rise for the invocation by Reverend Bob Yance of the First United Methodist Church and remain standing for the flag salute, please.
Let us pray. O loving God, whose mercy is ever directed for our good and whose truth is ever calling us toward a life of righteousness, we are grateful. Grateful for the good gift of life and for the abiding value of community, for the magnificence of your creation and for the benevolence of human good. Yes, O God, we say thank you. Tonight we pray your blessings upon our community leaders, for the decisions they face concerning their governance together, for wisdom in guiding our community, and for insight into the good for our town. Give them and all of us they govern a true spirit of cooperation and unity, even in moments when we disagree and have conflict. Bless our community with strong leadership and economic growth. Bless our community with thriving businesses, safe schools, growing churches, and many contributing citizens. And now may your will, O God, as in heaven, be done in Yukon. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Alberts.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Gerba.
Here.
McCarran.
Here.
Opitz.
Here.
First item of business on the agenda this evening is to consider a motion to accept nominations for the position of mayor and vice mayor for one term.
I would like to make a motion. I would like to nominate Ken Smith as mayor and Rick Opitz as vice mayor.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Call. Discussion? Discussion? Call the roll, please.
McCarran.
Yes.
Opitz.
Yes.
Alberts.
Yes.
Gerba.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Mayor Alberts, if you would join me down front, I would appreciate it. John, I want to thank you for the hard work and example that you set for me in the upcoming years. And this reads, John Alberts, in grateful recognition of serving 4 terms as the mayor of the city of Yukon, 2004, 07, 2011, and 2012. Thank you again.
All right.
I can't say much, I'll get a shaky voice. People that have been here before know that, so you all didn't come here to watch a man cry. But I am sincerely, thank you very much. It's been a wonderful opportunity, and I'm thrilled to have served with such a great community, with all these fine people and all the people. It's easy to work in Yukon and for the citizens of Yukon. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry? Not that I know of. Presentation, proclamations. Okay. All right. We're going to move into the meeting. Our first item is proclamations and presentations. And let's see, I'm going to, Nikita Murphy, right? If she could meet me out front.
You can do that one first. Take this with you. Take the microphone with you.
Yes, sir.
You want to read?
congratulate you on something here too. Present you a proclamation. It says, whereas service to others is a hallmark of the American character and central to how we meet our challenges, and whereas AmeriCorps and Senior Corps address the most pressing challenges facing our cities and nation, from educating students for the jobs of the 21st century, and whereas national service participants serve in more than 70,000 locations across the country, bolstering the civic, neighborhood, and faith-based organizations that are so vital to our economic and social well-being. And whereas AmeriCorps members and Senior Corps volunteers demonstrate a commitment to dedication and patriotism by making an intensive commitment to service, a commitment that remains with them in their future endeavors. And whereas the Corporation for National and Community Service shares priority with mayors nationwide to engage citizens, improve lives, and strengthen communities. Now, therefore, be it resolved, I, John Albers as it reads, Ken Smith, Mayor of Yukon, Oklahoma, do hereby proclaim May 7th, 2013 as National Service Day of Recognition, and encourage residents to recognize the positive impact of the national service in our city, to thank those who serve, and to find ways to give back to our communities. And I'm going to have to sign this before you walk away, okay?
All right.
All right. Have you got something you'd like to add on that?
Well, I'd like to tell everybody a little bit about foster grandparent program. It started over 45 years ago, and it was intended to get senior citizens out of the house and back into the community where they could serve, instead of just sitting at home watching soap operas all day. And we go into the schools and we take children that are struggling with their schoolwork, and we do one-on-one, and in a little bit, pretty soon they're catching up with their classmates and excelling in their schoolwork, where normally they would just fall between the cracks because teachers just don't have enough time to do a lot of one-on-one, and sometimes that's all it takes. You'll get a shy child that will just all of a sudden blossom because they've got grandma on their side, and we just love them and encourage them and help them with their schoolwork, and we don't do any filing or making copies or grading papers for the teacher. We're there strictly for the child. You have to be 55 years old or older, and you have to be able to commit to at least 15 hours a week to volunteer in the foster grandparent program. When I started, you had to be 60, but now you only have to be 55. So anybody that you know that is 55 years old or older that has a love and compassion for children, please get them to volunteer, because I'm the only volunteer in Yukon. I've been a foster grandparent volunteer for 5.5 years. We have grandparents that have been in for 17, 18, 20, 25 years. And so we have most of our volunteers are in their 70s, 80s, and 90s. And some of those 90-year-olds can just work circles around me. It'll keep you young if you're working with the children. And it's really a wonderful thing, because there's a place I can go that I know that I'm wanted and I'm needed and I'm loved, because those kids will love you unconditionally. They don't care what you look like or what kind of clothes you wear, as long as you're there for them. And I love every minute of it.
Here's the nominating language. I would read it without the names if you could. I can't. Until you get to the end. And there's the certificate.
All right. Is Stephen Hall here? Would you join me up front, please? You're going to be recognized Yukon's Best Citizenship Award. And I'm going to just take a minute here and read through some of the nominating language that we received on your behalf. Maybe make you cry up here, I don't know. Mr. Steve Hall. Mr. Hall lives in the village of Landmark. Last year, while building his new house in our area, he immediately began assisting his neighbors. He's fixed doors and sprinkler systems for the citizens in the area. He has helped fellow neighbors get medical assistance, landscape flower beds, change light bulbs, helped with phone lines, assisted with lighting fireplace logs, fixed sprinkler systems for individual neighbors, and in our park area. Several of Steve's projects have included landscaping the park area, trimming vacant lots, painting the gates in the villas area, patching and maintaining the outside wall. He loves to walk the pond area by the library. Steve helps with his beautification by picking up the trash. There are too many tasks to list about Mr. Volunteer Steve Hall. Not only does he give his time for the villas, but also we share Steve's services with Parkland Elementary School. Most mornings, Steve volunteers at his time at Parkland. All the Yukon citizens of the Villas of Landmark appreciate Steve's caring and helpful demeanor. He is a man of truth and great trust. Why don't you find something to do? This says Yukon's Best Citizenship Award presented to Steve Hall for outstanding citizenship in the city of Yukon, Oklahoma on the 7th day of May 2013.
I just want to say I'm surrounded by an awful lot of wonderful people, and I'll accept the award for the people of the Villas at Landmark. I'm just surrounded by so many good people, and they make me look good. Thank you.
All right, our next area is visitor section. This is for, gives an opportunity for the citizens of Yukon to come to the podium and address the council on a non-agenda item, State your name and your address, please.
Rick Caccini, 1140 Landmark Drive, Yukon, Oklahoma. As from our last meeting, I'd like to give you an update on the Yukon Veterans Memorial Museum. I've worked in the last, in April, working with the Historical Society and American Legion, and I was not able to secure any space. We had a meeting on 4/15 at the Dale Robinson Center, and I want to thank the city manager and his staff for allowing us to do that. We had a pretty good showing, and some of the people have already started volunteering. I've got Mr. Charles Walking Stick, who's thinking he's got a line on a place, so he's going to give us a briefing on the 13th of this month. I've got Judith Chesser. She's got a lead on some CPAs, so she's working that issue. I'm still getting phone calls about donations. I'm getting a lot of donations on the phone, but I naturally cannot touch anything until Mike Siegler, our attorney, as well as he's your attorney, but he's volunteered to help us out, and he's going to get us the paperwork so we can start accepting donations. Our next meeting is May 13th at 18:30 at the Dale Robinson Center, and that's all I've got unless you have a question.
Any questions? All right.
All right,
Mr.
thank you very
Cassini.
much.
Thanks, Rick.
Are there any other citizens who'd like to come forward? All right, we'll move on. We'll recess. Oh, we got one more. I'm sorry. Step up. Your name and
Emily
address.
Grizzle, 4905 Byron Circle.
I'm sorry,
Yukon,
ma'am, I missed your name.
Oklahoma. Emily Grizzle.
Go ahead.
I was just here, I would like to request the council to consider an ordinance that would require minor children to wear a bicycle helmet when they ride their bicycles on Yukon City streets. I'm a registered nurse that works at the Children's Center, and I work with many children that have suffered traumatic brain injuries, and many of these are preventable. I have spoken with Mr. McCarron on a few times about this issue. I just wanted to bring it forward to the council.
All right.
Thank
Any
you.
I'm
questions?
sorry, can I ask a question? I'm just kind of curious. How many do you think you see per year, as far as how many children, let's say skateboards, bikes, all into that same category?
That'd be hard to say. I know we have had several children in the past year that have suffered injuries from bicycles. Mainly, our center gets ATVs, car accidents. I can't tell you exactly how many, what the statistics are. My center is a rehab facility, so if they need rehab to learn to walk again, they'll come to my center. Other traumatic brain injuries may just go to the hospital and go home after that.
Okay, thank you.
Before we go any further, I've been made aware that receiving questions from the council and during visitors section is, or could be considered a violation of the Open Meetings Act. So you're welcome to share with us, but we'll have to share at a later time.
After the meeting or during
Okay.
other portions.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that'd like to come forward? Seeing none, we'll recess as the Yukon City Council and reconvene as the Yukon Municipal Authority. Item 1A, YMA consent docket. This item is placed on the agenda so the Yukon Municipal Authority, by unanimous consent, can designate those routine items they wish to be approved by one motion. If an item does not meet with the approval of the authority members, all the authority members, that item will be heard in regular order. City manager recommends a motion to approve. A, the minutes of the regular meeting of April 16th, 2013. B, payment of material claims in the amount of $589,450.50. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Discussion? Call roll, please.
Alberts,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
McCarron,
Yes.
Gerba,
Yes.
Opitz,
Yes.
Item 2A, consider approving an expenditure of funds in the amount not to exceed $61,631.19 for a construction project to upgrade the Yukon Horseshoe 12 Pit complex in the city park, to be paid from the 2012 Series A revenue bond as recommended by the Parks and Recreation Director. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Gerba,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Opitz,
Yes.
Alberts,
Yes.
McCarron.
Yes.
This time we'll adjourn as YMA and reconvene as the Yukon City Council. Item 1 is a consent docket. This item is placed on the agenda so the City Council, by unanimous consent, can designate those routine items they wish to be approved by one motion. If an item does not meet with the approval of all council members, that item will be heard in regular order. The city manager recommends a motion that will approve. A, the minutes of the regular meeting, April 16th, 2013. B, payment of material claims in the amount of $590,866.72. C, the renewal of the existing radio systems license agreement with the city of Oklahoma City for the term of July 1, 2013 through June 30, 2014. D, accepting Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality permit number WL0000009130242 for the construction of approximately 315 linear feet of 8-inch water lines and appurtenances to serve the city of Yukon Garth Brooks Commercial Park Phase 4 Waterline Extension Project, Canadian County, Oklahoma. E, consider approving supplement number 1 for Yukon to survey the boundaries of each existing water well location and associated pipelines to determine their exact legal descriptions and locations to the Uniform Water Lease Agreement between the City of Yukon and the City of Oklahoma City Airport Trust. F, the renewal of the existing intergovernmental agreement with the City of Oklahoma City for a regional household hazardous waste collection and management project for the term of July 1, 2013 through June 30, 2014. G, designating the items on the attached list from the Tech Department as surplus and authorizing their sale, donation, or trade. H, setting the date for the next regular council meeting, pay attention here, for Wednesday, May 22nd, 2013 at 7 o'clock. That's right, Wednesday, May 22nd, 2013 at 7 o'clock in the council chambers of the Centennial Building, 12 5th Street. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Gerba,
Yes.
McCarron,
Yes.
Opitz,
Yes.
Alberts,
Yes.
Item 2 is reports of boards, commissions, and city officials.
None this evening, Mayor.
Item 3, consider approving the expenditure of funds in the amount of $29,000 for the Oklahoma City Philharmonic performance fee for Freedom Fest 2013 from the General Fund of Parks and Recreation Department as recommended by Parks and Recreation Director. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Opitz,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Alberts,
Yes.
Gerba,
Yes.
McCarron,
Yes.
Item 4, consider electing 2 members to the Board of Trustees of the Oklahoma Municipal Assurance Group for 3-year terms commencing July 1, 2013, as requested by the Chief Executive Officer of Oklahoma Municipal Assurance Group. Do I have a motion?
So move.
You got to nominate two.
Got to nominate.
Two off of the provided list.
Two.
That list was provided. I can tell you that I personally know Mike Brown, the mayor of the city of Weatherford, very active in all municipal affairs concerning the state of Oklahoma. I know Rocky Rogers, the city manager of the city of Sand Springs, Oklahoma, and I also know the incumbent, John Shepard, the city manager and treasurer of the city of Walters, Oklahoma, who has served in this position for 10 years. Any of those three gentlemen as I would recommend any of the three for the positions that we are nominating them for.
Are you able to help us figure out the two best?
Mike Brown and Rogers.
Okay. You want to make that motion?
I make a motion on, that we do Mike Brown and Rocky Rogers.
I'm sorry, won't we have to have Mike amend his motion to include the names of the nominees? Because we had a motion and a second
Right,
from this end.
Mike made the motion.
So, Mike, would you
Yeah.
consider
Yeah.
amending your motion?
Yeah, I'll amend my motion to include Mike Brown and Roger.
Rocky Rogers?
Yes.
And Nick, would you then second it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Gerba,
Yes.
McCarron,
Yes.
Opitz,
Yes.
Alberts,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. Item 5, city manager's report. This is informational items only.
We'll start with our always active Parks and Recreation Department for the coming month. It is an active month leading into an even more active summer. The first one is May 17th, Bike to Work Day. At 7:30, we all meet at City Hall and ride our bikes to the Yukon Community Center for refreshments and door prizes. This is a nationally recognized event, Get Fit Yukon. It's sponsored by the Parks and Recreation Department. Sunday, May 19th, Hershey Youth Track Meet. All boys and girls ages 7 through 14 meet at the Yukon Middle School track. Check-in is at 12:30. Races begin at 1 p.m. Deadline to register is May the 10th. So registration details are available at the Jackie Cooper Gym, and we'd encourage everybody to get out and participate in a great youth event. Finally, on Saturday, June the 1st, the Chisholm Trail and Crawfish Festival, also free, will be held at the Kirkpatrick Family Farm from 9 to 4 on that day. It's a great event, great food, lots of booze, lots of people. Booths.
I thought we upgraded this sound system.
I heard you the first time.
And
He said it right the first time.
and it's go and take some Cajun dance lessons, do the whole thing. It's a wonderful event, and I hope that all of you will participate. Also, we are continuing on with our street repair projects all across the city. Most notably of late is Poplar. If you have not driven down Poplar of late, you won't recognize it. It is a completely different street than it was about 3 weeks ago, because you can actually drive down the street holding a cup of coffee without spilling it in your lap. We're very happy about that project. We also just completed, as you know, the 8th and Poplar intersection. In fact, yesterday, I believe, and also Kali was completed this week, totally. Great addition to our street system. I will tell you that the street in front of Central Elementary will be addressed shortly after school has recessed for the summer. That is a very extensive project, about 450 feet long, requires tearing out the whole street and starting over, basically. So that'll be starting right after school is out. We had asked patience. There are some areas, particularly at Yukon Avenue, where we must rebuild the entire street. It will take us a week and a half to 2 weeks to do that. We're going to do our best to keep people where they can get close to their house, get in and out of their driveways, but it's going to be a project much needed if you've been on Yukon Avenue recently. Also, update on Relight the Mill. I don't know if you had the opportunity to be downtown and watch as the crane took and lifted the Yukon's Best Flower sign off of the mill, bring it to the ground, where now the inspection and the rebuilding process, repair process in some cases, will begin. As you know, we're going to repair the letters. They intend to repair everything that's possible, rebuild only that has to be rebuilt, but most importantly, they're going to properly install LED lights so that the sign can be seen as our landmark for many, many years to come. I would also like to tell you that the letters that are taken off, they will be sold at a celebration to relight, to turn the lights back on. If you remember, we had a celebration to turn the lights off, and we're going to have a celebration to turn the lights on. So those letters will then be sold, and you too can have a part of the history of Yukon and help them pay for the operation and the maintenance of the lights themselves. Gentlemen, with that, my report is complete. I stand ready for questions.
Is there a date? I'm sorry.
It's toward the end of June. We do not have a firm date, but it will be toward the end of June.
Any other questions? Seeing none, item number 6, new business. No new business. Item 7, council discussion. We'll begin with Mr. McCarron.
Well, once again, it's been a pretty good month in Yukon. I really appreciate the service award coming up. Being over 55, I think that I have a opportunity to go ahead and participate as well in many, many things. And Yukon is a great place to do that. And just because you're over 55 doesn't mean that you can't anymore. And I really appreciate all of the people who do. Yukon is a great town for that. Stephen, I appreciate you as well. Having gone out there and done a lot of things like that in the past, I certainly really appreciate the time and the effort and everything else that you put into this. Certainly a great number of people thought a great deal of you, so I think it's pretty neat to have you come up and be honored today, because it is a special thing to be an active part of the community. I want to just send a little shout out to one of our Arnold and for his folks with the street repairs. They've been going very, very well. Certainly the one that was in my area was Cali. I was very proud of it. It's really been a disaster for a long time, and to get one of that streets fixed up is also a kudo to city folks that have been working on that. I especially want to thank John Alberts for his service as mayor. John has really been a good mayor and a good person to put up in front of all of the public and the people to show what a really good town that Yukon is. And I certainly appreciate all of his service and his willingness to come and serve, especially when I stir up a whole lot of trouble and they all go after him. That works out pretty well. Once again, you know, I really don't like soap operas, so I think community service is terribly important, and I appreciate that, whether it's here on the council or it's somewhere else in town. Certainly, the Bike to Work Day and all of those kinds of things really show what a wonderful community we have. We have wonderful facilities, we have wonderful events and wonderful activities. I think that's all for me, Mayor, and I'm really proud to be from Yukon. I can't say it any better. Oh, I did want to say thank you to Emily for coming tonight, bring up an issue, which will, hopefully be addressed in the future, and we'll be looking at those kinds of things because, once again, Yukon is a good place. Mayor?
Councilman Gerba.
I think Mike said it pretty well, but I just want to kind of piggyback on that. I was kind of struck with the basically 4 people that we've had here that have spoke or earned an award. It's just that spirit of service, spirit of community that I think is just what makes Yukon so fantastic, and it's individuals like yourselves that really make this place better every day. So I really thank you for your service to this community. That's what makes all the difference in the world. And on top of that, speaking of service for John Alberts, for the years that he's dedicated. As a matter of fact, a woman that I work with remembers you from high school. And even from high school, she said, John was always the guy that was always doing the right thing. And I just applaud you all for always doing the right thing for Yukon. And John, thanks for your service too.
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks.
Mr. Opitz.
She must not have known John like I do. No, John, we do appreciate your service, and you've done a great job as mayor. You've made me proud because you have been a great mayor. Now listen, Ken Smith, you're now mayor, and I'm watching you.
Don't try me, Mr. Opitz.
What about the Hall family? Aren't you proud of this man? Aren't you very proud? That is awesome. That is an awesome thing. Congratulations.
This man has been doing this since early 70s. I've known him now since 1974 in our own neighborhood. And you guys would not believe this guy.
Well, let me tell you something. I am very proud to have that man in Yukon. I am, because with people like that, things get done. With a city like we have, things get done. All areas that I've seen in Yukon, and I've got to hand it to the city employees, every area has improved. I don't care if it's streets, sanitation, or what area you look at, police, fire, they have all improved. Our community is growing, and we're striving to be a very, very good community. And I'm very proud of Yukon. I'm proud to be living here. And let me tell you something. It's just like celebrating every day. And you heard it from Grayson Bottom, our city manager. We can celebrate in the dark, and we can celebrate in the light. So as far as I'm concerned, every day's a holiday, every night's a party, and every meal's a banquet right here in Yukon. That's all I got, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Opitz. Mr.
You
Alberts.
can have communion after the service. I'll piggyback on what everyone said. I'm thrilled that there are so many people that are here, great citizens, people that are concerned about our children. Cindy, is it Fuston? Cindy, is that how you say your name? Fuston. Okay. You're glad that Ken's here to read now. These meetings they'll be about halftime instead of me reading. But she's here today even to ask about the parks. But that's what's unique about this community. People, they're cared, they're concerned. We get emails, and your opinion matters. I mean, it does. So continue to come forward, continue to serve the community. And the neat thing is there are other citizens around our community that perform like you do. Don't stop. It's great. It's wonderful. But that's what makes Yukon unique. I mean, I came back home, and I live here for a reason. It's a great place to live. I want to say thanks on those streets over in the older part of town. So that's been a thing, a long time coming to work on those. And I haven't jogged down Poplar since it's new, but I look forward to being able to run and not have to worry about twisting an ankle. So I'm glad that that's happening. Exercise, Jan. It's time to start to train. When's our the first little 5K for the park? Okay, so the Spirit Sprint is in August, and then we've got Chill Your Cheeks, which is in the end of November. So, but start to get ready for those. Be fit. Get out in the community. Move around. We need the helmets. Kids need to be encouraged to get out and play, etc. But also watch out. When I ran this weekend, and we ran about 3 miles. And I almost get hit by a car twice. And I mean, if you're in a car, you're bigger than I am. And sometimes if I start into a sidewalk, I think, or a crosswalk, I think that you see me and you don't, and I know that I have to watch out for you, but also be conscientious. We are encouraging our community to be more active, but we also encourage the people that drive to be conscientious of those people around us. So just be careful. And the other thing I brought up, and I want to continue, is I would like to see us do something. I'm back to my 25-mile-an-hour speed zones for all of Yukon, and I don't know if we could get that on a study session agenda or something, but Tammy was there for that information when we discussed that. So I'm curious about making Yukon even a more walking, biking-friendly community. Then I have a question for the city manager. Is that appropriate for now? Sure. Mark?
Yeah. Depending on what the subject is.
Well, it's a non-agenda item. It doesn't have any, it's the lights out of, he doesn't want to hear it, so you should say no because he doesn't want to.
Well, then absolutely no. You can get him after the meeting. You can ask him. I don't know. I don't think it would be appropriate. It would be up to him if he wants to answer.
Okay. My question is about the lights. The timing of the lights out by, are those done, the repairs?
Yes. Those have been timed. They have been under maintenance. They are sequenced as good as they can get. The fact of the matter is that the streets, both Main Street and Garth Brooks, are carrying 3 times the number of cars that they were designed to carry. And the congestion, it's either get them gone real quick or slow them down, Mayor, as you've learned.
So we can now tell
You could
our
tell.
people that's as good as it's going to get, and just be patient. Be lucky that all those people are here to shop in our community. It's a great place to live. With that, thank you, Ken. Good luck, and I'll be quiet.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. I just have a couple of things. You know, we have shown that our city can be physically in good shape. We have also shown that we can be in fiscally good shape. And I want to assure everybody, we're about to go into our budget meetings here in the next week or two. And speaking for myself and on behalf of the fellow council members here, I know our department heads have worked so very hard in getting their budgets submitted for our consideration. And I want to assure the citizens of Yukon that we are going to be, or continue to be, fiscally responsible. Also want to encourage anybody that has an opportunity to get out there and help. We have 2 fine citizens, many more than that in the crowd now, but 2 that were recognized tonight for their big hearts and their giving hearts. And if we can just catch that from them, because it can be contagious. All you have to do is reach out and help someone. Just reach out and help, and you'll be surprised at how good that will make you feel and how little it takes to improve someone else's quality of life. I also want to thank my fellow councilmen for showing the confidence in me that to lead this council and represent Yukon as the mayor. And I can also assure you that I will do my very, very best to do fill this role in a respectful and professional manner. And I just again like to thank my fellow councilmen. And with that, we stand adjourned.